Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is made for you. This podcast is for the entrepreneur struggling to get over that hump. This podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur struggling on making that first jump. This podcast is also for anyone with a dream and a goal that wants to go forward and make that happen. This podcast is for you. This week, we're going to discuss blocking out the bullshit. It's the second Wednesday of 2017. We're still early in the year, very early in the year, so we still have time to keep this year on the right track and to make things happen and keep things smooth. You see, people with employee mindsets don't understand the journey to success, and they never will. And just because you're an employee doesn't mean you have an employee mindset. It's many people who have jobs who aspire to be something else. They aspire to become entrepreneurs, full-time business owners, or they aspire to just move up to another level in their life financially and successfully. People with employee mindsets, these are the people who have conformed to the comfort of unhealthy habits. They have conformed to going to work every day, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, commuting an hour or however long your commute is, and basically paying their bills and being broke and robbing Peter to pay Paul. That has become normal to them. That's what I mean by people with employee mindsets. They're comfortable in that life and they don't want to advance themselves. They don't want to move on to something better. They don't believe that there's something better out there. They're content and they're comfortable with going to work, getting a check every 2 weeks, paying their bills, taking whatever they have left over, going on a vacation, which is going to put them in debt in some cases, overdrawn accounts. This is what they're used to and they have no issue with it. People with that mindset, people with employee mindsets do not understand the entrepreneurial journey. They do not understand the journey to success. They would do everything in their power to pull you into their misery. They would do everything. They will ridicule you. They will criticize you. They will down talk your goals and your plans. You see, I did an episode about a year ago titled Energy is Contagious. And in this episode, I talk about how positive energy and negative energy both have the same effects on you. And it's these people that bring that negative energy. And eventually, if you're around them too long, that negative energy is going to become contagious. And it's going to dampen your success. It's going to dampen your progress. You're going to start to have seeds of doubt in your mind. And then you're going to wake up every day frustrated and angry with the world because these people around you have got to you. Their energy has gotten to you. That negative energy is contagious. Positive energy is contagious. That's why you have to block out the bullshit. You see, these miserable people, they come in all different types of groups and factions. You see, you have this one group. You have the group of people from your past. It could be the people you went to high school with, the people you went to college with, the people that you grew up with, who have employee mindsets and don't basically have any aspirations to advance their life. All they do, the highlight of their life is living for the weekend. All they do is they go to work, and on the weekends, they go get drunk, they go to clubs, they go out, they spend money that they really can't afford to spend, and they do nothing. And they repeat that process over and over again, 52 weeks a year. They do nothing. And then they complain when you don't want to hang out with them anymore. They complain when you don't want to do the same things that you used to do with them in the past. These people are negative. They have negative energy. You have to block out that bullshit. It's going to come a time where you're going to have to cut them off. And it's not because you think you're better than them. Everybody has their own route. Eventually, they might come to the realization that it's better out there for them. But at this point in time, at this moment, you have a goal. You have a plan for your life. You're trying to build your business. You're trying to accomplish your dream. And you can't waste time doing things that you used to do in high school and college with these same groups of people because they don't get it. They just don't get it. And it's okay. if they call you phony. It's okay if they call you fake. It's okay because you know what you're doing. And you have to block out that bullshit. You have to block that bullshit out, and you have to keep it moving because they have no place in your life right now. People are in your life for seasons, and their season has passed. So that's one group of people that you have to look out for and you have to block bullshit from. Then you have another group of people who actually do have careers. They do aspire to be higher. They do have dreams and goals just like you. But you see, their dreams and goals might not be the same as yours. They might want you to take the same route that they took, do the same things that they did. And when you tell them that that's not the route you want to take, when you tell them that you want to be a rebel and you want to go the entrepreneurial route or you want to go this other route because you believe that that's your plan, they get frustrated with that and they ridicule you. Side note, I had this happen to me recently. A mentor of mine, my major was broadcasting. I graduated from Western Illinois in 2010. And my major was broadcasting because I knew I always wanted to produce something. Eventually, I wanted to produce movies and television shows. This was 2010. It's 2016. And I'm knee deep into my business. I'm knee deep into my goals and doing everything I know that I believe God has told me to do. You understand? And this mentor of mine who works in the news industry, he wanted me to move to another city to take an entry-level cameraman job, okay? So that I can gain experience and then a year after that, come back home to Chicago, and then he said he can get me plugged into the major markets here, the major news stations here. It sounds good, but that's not part of my plan. I didn't want to do that. It was not part of my plan. It was nothing that I wanted to do. And when I told him that, he got frustrated. He got angry, and he began to criticize me. He began to ridicule me. I simply just told him that's not what I want to do, and I ended the call, and I blocked him out of my life. I don't want nothing to do with him anytime soon. And next time I see him, I'm not going to allow him to bring that negative energy my way. So I say all of that to say it's going to be people in your life who seem like they're trying to help you, and they might have genuine intentions. But when you're not trying to do what they want you to do, when you have your own plan, they're going to get frustrated with that and they're going to ridicule you. They're going to try to downplay your goals. Because they don't understand your mindset. And it's okay because your mindset isn't for them to understand. You have an entrepreneurial mindset. You have bigger dreams and goals. You know there's bigger things out there for you. You have to block out that negative bullshit. You have to block it out and you have to keep it moving. From all types of groups of people that come in different forms. Because your plan is your plan. No one needs to understand it. No one needs to care. The only person that needs to care is you. Because you have that conviction and that belief that it's going to work out. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, I have a lot of respect. I mentioned this briefly on last week's episode. I have a lot of respect for people who are going through weight loss. Because the journey is very similar to entrepreneurship. You see, if you have an overweight person that's going to the gym every single day, putting in all of this work, and every day they're staring and they're looking at themselves in a mirror and they don't see any results. They're still 330 pounds. After 2-3 weeks, you might go from 330 pounds to 323 pounds, but physically they look the same. You know how hard that is? You know how discouraging that can be? To go through all of that work, but you don't see any results, even though the results are coming. It takes a lot of mental toughness for that. It takes a lot of mental toughness and grit to go through that. And they keep at it. They keep going to that gym every week. And then eventually they go from 330 to 300. Then eventually they go from 300 to 250. Then eventually they go from 250 to 200. Then people start to see the results. You see the results and others start to see the results. And they say, wow. Look at you. You look good. What happened? How did you do this? They're amazed. And they're delighted to see this new person that's standing before them. It's the same way with entrepreneurship. You see, right now, a lot of these people don't understand what you're doing. And they don't need to understand. They're frustrated. They're ridiculing you. They're bringing their negative energy to you. They're bringing all this bullshit to you because they don't understand. But eventually, when the fruits of your labor start to bloom, when you finally get that new storefront, when you finally get that new car, when you finally get that mansion, when you finally get to take trips on a private jet, when you finally get to enjoy all of these exterior materialistic things of your work, of all your hard work that you put in throughout the years, that's when people are going to be like, wow, how did you do it? Wow, I need to be like you. Wow, I never doubted you for a second. It's all bullshit, because they doubted you. They never believed in you, but it's okay. And it's sad that it takes things like that for them to understand. But you're not doing this for the materialistic things so they can understand. You're just doing it because you believe that this is what you want to do and this is your passion. I'm just saying it's going to take all of that for them to finally understand the journey. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. And until next week, let's continue to block out the bullshit. And let's continue to focus on positivity, progress, and passion in 2017. So have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you next week.